When parents separate, the first question everyone always asks is, so who gets the kids? But what if that's the completely wrong question to be asking? Well, a groundbreaking court ruling in India is suggesting a whole new way of looking at this, and honestly, it could change how we think about child custody forever.
And for decades, that's been the central question, right? It frames the entire process as a battle, a zero-sum game where one parent has to win, which means the other parent has to lose.
By simply reframing that one question, the High Court of Karnataka did something amazing. They didn't just solve a legal fight. They created a path for a more compassionate, more child-focused solution. It's a fundamental move away from parental conflict and toward the child's well-being.
So how did this big philosophical idea actually play out in a real-life situation? Well, let's dive in and meet the family at the very heart of this landmark case.
Okay, so here's the situation. We have Savitha and Rajiv. They had agreed on everything else to end their marriage, but when it came to their 11-year-old son, Aditya, they were at a complete standstill, an impasse. And this one, single, unresolved issue is what brought their case to the High Court.
Now, faced with this total deadlock, the court didn't just invent a new solution out of thin air. Instead, it leaned on a really powerful guiding legal principle that was already in place.
This quote from a prior Supreme Court ruling is absolutely key. And notice the wording here. It's not a suggestion, it's a duty. The court's primary job isn't to make the parents happy, it's to protect the child. This single principle became the foundation for everything that was about to happen.
This shift in thinking also meant a real shift in language. The court started moving away from old-school terms like rights and custody, which kind of imply ownership, don't they? Instead, it started focusing on words like responsibility, residence, and contact. It seems subtle, but it's a profound change that treats the child as an individual, not as property to be divided.
So, with the child's welfare as their North Star, the court explored a really innovative solution to finally break that deadlock.
The solution they landed on was something called shared parenting. And the core idea is simple but so powerful. A child thrives when both parents are actively involved in their life. It's really about ensuring that the divorce ends the marriage, not the parenting partnership.
This has two really important components. The first is joint legal custody. This covers all the big decisions, school, healthcare, that kind of stuff. Both parents have an equal say.
And the second part is joint physical custody. This is all about the day-to-day. It makes sure both parents are there for the homework, the hobbies, and all those small moments that really make up a childhood.
And it's important to remember, this wasn't some radical experiment coming out of left field. The court was actually tapping into a growing global trend. It's been recommended by India's own law commission, and its roots are in the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child. The goal is the same everywhere: keep both parents actively involved in their kid's life.
So how did the court take this big, global concept and apply it to one 11-year-old boy?
They did something remarkably simple, yet totally profound. They decided to speak directly to the person at the very center of it all.
And what happened next was incredible. When the judges spoke to Aditya in private, his response was just stunningly clear. He didn't want to choose between his parents. He said he wanted to live with his mom for 6 months and his dad for 6 months. He wasn't picking a winner. He was choosing both of them.
And the court listened. They didn't just take his preference into consideration. They used it as the actual blueprint for a detailed, legally binding shared parenting plan.
The plan they came up with was so practical and detailed. Aditya would live with his father for 5 months, then his mother for the next 5. Major vacations like summer, Dasera, and winter breaks split right down the middle, 50-50. And to make sure they stay connected, he would spend 2 weekends a month with the parent he wasn't currently living with. It's a true roadmap for stability.
But you see, this ruling is about so much more than just one family. It has the potential to fundamentally reshape family law in India.
I think the most significant impact is its rejection of that adversarial winner-takes-all mindset. It reframes divorce not as a battle that has to be won, but as a problem to be solved collaboratively, together.
So why is this one case such a big deal? Well, because it puts the child's voice and welfare right at the absolute center of everything. It provides a practical, detailed template for other courts to follow. It champions cooperation over conflict. And most importantly, it affirms that a child is an individual, deserving of a meaningful relationship with both parents.
And it leaves us with a really critical question for the future. As our understanding of family continues to evolve, should this model of cooperative, child-centered, shared parenting become not the exception but the new rule?